I know. Yeah, Elliot could have gotten on the spaceship, and he would not have been here when Melancholia hit.
Well, audience, welcome back to another week of Core Memory, a podcast about movies. I am your host, Cortney Warner, and joining me this week, I'm so excited. We have a musician, a visual artist, an actor, just overall creative person, and a dear friend of mine. Please welcome to the pod, Travis Caffrey. Woo!
Thanks. Thanks for
Yeah,
having me.
of course. Travis, how are you? What's going on?
I'm all right.
I feel
just
you.
just working on my art, my
Yeah,
various art things.
yeah, living the art life for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
trying to.
Audience is some behind the scenes. We spent about like almost 40 minutes troubleshooting some audio for this
Yeah.
episode. So if we're
Yeah, I
coming
don't know
real,
what I'm doing with this with this computer.
so if we're coming in sound a little frazzled,
Yeah, a
just
little
extra,
stressed out.
yeah, it's just a little extra energy. It's like kind of like in the movies where actors, if they have to like do voice acting, they'll like run in place and then like start doing their lines if they're like running. So this
Yeah,
kind of
just
feels like
hyperventilate.
right, exactly, have a panic attack, just for the art of it.
Mhm.
But so that's kind of where we're coming from. But I'm so stoked this is working out through the good fortune of others around us and who have other things that we can use. It's all happening. And this week, it's happening now.
It's happening. It's all
Yeah,
happening here.
yeah. We can't unring the bell at this point. It's already going on. We scheduled it in our calendars. So audience, Travis brought some really great movies this week, ones that we haven't discussed yet on the podcast, which is really exciting. The first movie he remembers seeing is E.T., and his favorite movie as an adult is Melancholia. Fantastic picks, and also like very like they all kind of go together, which I enjoy.
Yeah, I think that's why, like I don't have a favorite movie like most people don't. Like that's just the one that
Right.
kind of like bobbed up to the surface in the pool of my favorite movies or whatever.
Yeah.
And at first I think it was because I thought there was some connection between them, but it's just because they're from space. Like
Yeah.
ET is from space and Melancholia is from space. That's the only connection.
Yeah. No, it's a
So
good one though. I know that you're super into space. That's kind of one of one of your
yeah, I
things.
mean I like UFOs.
Yeah. Yeah, we all have I mean, space is pretty cool. Like, I like thinking about what else is out there, but at the same time, it's
Yeah,
kind of
it's like
scary.
could be a little friendly alien or a big planet.
Yeah, that's gonna kill everybody, and either way,
Yeah.
I'm ready for either one at this point.
Mhm.
But, we'll start off with, your first movie that you remember seeing. Audience, I'll give some quick stats for the audience. So, like I said, Travis's first movie he remembers seeing is E.T. Came out in 1982, famously directed by Steven Spielberg, starring a stacked cast, Henry Thomas, Drew Barrymore, Dee Wallace, among many other actors in this movie. So Travis, can you tell me about the first time you remember seeing this movie?
Yeah, I only sort of remember seeing it. I was very, very young. I was like probably like 2 years old or something. I mean, this is all like memories of memories compounded. So who knows how much of this is even real or
Yeah.
anything like that at this point. But I saw it and it scared the shit out of me. Like I was legitimately like scared of ET for
Yeah.
years after that. Like my grandma had a little like piggy bank that was in the shape of ET
Oh.
holding a beer can. Actually, I have it right here. This isn't good audio, but let me show it to you. It's this little
Oh,
guy,
yeah.
like
On
a
the
full
little
size ceramic ET with a little beer can and stuff. Uh,
yeah.
but anyway, she had to hide that anytime we came to visit because it would scare me.
Mhm.
And then she gave it to me eventually. But so I also had a dream very early on in my life that featured ET.
Mhm.
I woke up in the dream in my room, and my grandmother was there, and she was looking a different grandmother. It's all about grandmothers tonight. All my memories of aliens. Um, anyway, she was looking out the window, terrified, and
Mhm.
I ran over to the window, and climbing up the tree in our backyard was ET, and he looked right at me. and I woke up and it was just like I was terrified of ET.
Oh.
Um, and I'd seen it like once again, like when I was 15 or whatever. Like I had seen it again, but just
Yeah.
rewatching it the other day, it is scary for like the first
Mhm.
20 minutes,
Oh, yeah.
especially for a little kid. Like the aliens are weird looking and they scare Elliot.
Yeah.
Like out in the cornfield, it's basically signs at the beginning.
Yeah, it is. No,
And
I
like
feel
the
you.
aliens make scary noises, the people are scary, and I don't know. It's just like until he gets the Reese's Pieces, it's like sort of a horror movie.
Right. No, I thought about that too when I was rewatching it because I saw E.T. pretty young as well, and it was just on all the time in our house. My brother really loved it, my
Mm,
younger brother, and so like he had no fear with any of that. But for me,
right.
I just thought E.T. was ugly for a long time, and
Yeah.
I think he's cute now, like, oh, cute little alien, whatever.
Yeah.
But man, he was fucking ugly, you know. Like
Yeah. I
his
mean,
head is shaped weird, skinny little neck.
mm,
What is he doing? You know?
strange texture and
Yes.
just shape. It's like it is cute now, but I think that's actually like cool that they didn't just go like full porg or whatever those things are back then.
Right.
It's like allowed to look a little strange and alien, like actually alien.
Yeah, like, I mean, I still would assume aliens look like that because it's like he has these long skinny fingers and he has like
Mhm.
this kind of like portly body and stuff and like he
Yeah,
doesn't really
yeah.
doesn't move too fast, you know.
And he's very short. He's got little stubby feet, legs.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
rewatching it, like, the fact that Drew Barrymore as a little kid is bigger than him, like he's pretty tiny,
yeah,
so it's just
yeah.
funny. No, but I love E.T. now, like, I feel like it's a classic now, but as a kid, yeah, it did freak me out for sure, and also,
Mhm.
like, I remember as a kid too, I was just very sensitive to yelling, and I feel like the adults were yelling a lot, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's like for one thing, I forgot that it's like kind of about this kid who's going through his parents' divorce.
Mhm.
Uh, that's kind of like the main thing it seems to be about.
Yeah.
So there's this tension underlying the whole thing, and like you don't, other than his mom, I don't think you see any adult faces until like really late in the movie. Like all the government men are always shot from like the waist down. I think even
Mhm.
his teacher, you don't see his face.
Yeah. Damn, it's very like, Peanuts, like Snoopy, you know what I mean? Kind of in
Mhm.
that
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
Which is I didn't even think about that, but yeah, until you see, that other guy towards the end, like the head, like,
yeah,
scientist who also wants E.T. to stick around, I'm like, "Oh," but he also is kinda
yeah,
like Elliot where he, like, wants to believe and wants this to be a thing.
yeah.
Where he
I think that's the first time you see an adult man's face is that
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, I remember as a kid too, like, and this also probably speaks to just getting older where it's like I used to be like, "Oh, the mom's such a buzzkill, whatever," but then it's like,
Right.
you know, but I'm like, "Oh my god, this single mom who's probably like she's probably like in her early 30s because people
Yeah,
like
I know.
50,
That's
you know?
yeah, I know. I'm older than her.
Yeah, right? Like, I feel like we're probably the same age, and she has a full-grown teenager and all that stuff, but
Mhm.
she's just doing her best, and she's like, "These kids are eating me out of house and home, I'm a single
Yeah.
mom, my ex-husband fucked off to Mexico, he hates Mexico," like,
Mhm.
yeah, I definitely have more empathy for her now and like, yeah, but back as a kid, I'm like, "Man, adults are no fun," you know?
Right. I mean, I guess that's the kid logic of not like telling anybody about the ET that's in your room.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
I would go tell my mom first thing if I
Yeah.
found an alien, like I'm not trying to keep that a secret.
Right, yeah, share
What
the
do you do with
wealth.
that?
Right, like, "What, you have a secret alien in your house?" Like, well, yeah, like, what do you do with that, honestly?
Yeah, I mean, if you're in a Steven Spielberg movie, you have kind of adventures and stuff, but
Right.
yeah, no, I would tell somebody first thing. I guess that would then the government would just come and take them away, so maybe that would be the wrong thing to do.
That is true, man, but although technically didn't the government say there are aliens and no one gave a shit? Isn't that like a thing?
In real life?
Yeah, yeah, in real life, like a couple years
I don't know
ago.
if they said it that way, but I don't know. I haven't kept up with it, but it's yeah, they put out like they like declassified a bunch of FBI documents or some such
Mhm.
shit like that.
Yeah,
Uh
and I just think it's funny that it's like, "Yeah, here's everything that we have out here, and the world is just so bad, it's like we don't give a shit
yeah, it
anymore,"
doesn't
you
even
know?
matter right now.
Yeah, it's like, "Oh, cool aliens, awesome. Well, great. Let them add to
Yeah.
maybe they can fix this shit or maybe pay some of our taxes, who knows?" But
Yeah, I wanna make friends with one and have him invite me away at the end. I'd go.
dude, same here. I'm at this point now where it's like, with both movies that you picked, I'm like, either outcome, I would be fine with.
I know, yeah, Elliot coulda gotten on the spaceship, and he would not have been here when Melancholia hit.
Exactly. See, that's the connection. I see a multiverse going on here.
Yeah.
So so I want, there's a world out there where ET came here and was like, "Hey, Melancholia is on its way in like
Mhm.
20 years." And then they whisk him away and he's good, but then Melancholia hits and now, another world where Drew Barrymore's character goes to be Kirsten Dunst. I don't know. I'm just saying that could
Mhm.
be the case.
Sure.
But
Yeah, we
sure,
just
why
gotta
not?
get Lars von Trier and Steven Spielberg in a room to make a kids movie together.
Yeah, that would be a hell of a kids movie. Oh god, from the guy who made Jaws and Antichrist.
Yeah.
Comes some kids movie out this Christmas.
Mhm.
I'd watch it. I'd be open to that.
Yeah. I think
Uh,
there's a script floating around or something for, like, a proposed ET 2
mm.
where, like, bad ETs come, like, evil ones to, like
Oh.
monsters.
Yeah,
I
oh,
don't know what
shit.
else it was supposed to be about, but
Yeah, I'd be into
get
that.
Lars von Trier on that one.
I think that'd be great, and I think, because at the crux of both of these movies are, like, familial elements, so it could be like
Yeah.
ET's evil brother or something like that, you know what
Yeah,
I
that's
mean?
true. It is both, like, siblings.
Yeah, and I think that I think there's something there. I think Lars von Trier, like, what is he doing these days? Like, what's he been working on? Fucking
I don't
nothing.
know. Yeah, I don't think since, I think he has MS or something like that,
Oh
but
god.
yeah, I don't think he's let's all laugh about that. Uh,
Jesus Christ.
oh, no, he's dead. He died in a car accident
Yeah.
yesterday.
So, yeah, Lars
Uh,
made anything since Nymphomaniac 2.
why isn't he working on anything? No, he did, The House That Jack Built. That was
That's
good.
right. Oh, that was good. That's right, that was
Surprisingly
him.
funny, that movie.
Yeah. I forgot he did that movie. It felt, like, out of character for him in a little bit too, so maybe that's why I never associated
Kind of,
him with
yeah.
that movie. But so with E.T., how do you feel that this movie you talked little bit about this, but, like, more in depth if you had it, like, how did you feel this movie impacted you as a kid?
Uh, it probably other than scaring me, I would assume it had something to do with my kind of, like, idle fascination with, like, space shit, UFO
True.
abductions and aliens and just, like, not even, like, the true stories or, like, lore or whatever, but just the kind of notion of it.
Mhm.
I've always like, I got into the X-Files at some point, and I've always
Yeah.
just liked kinda, like, classic kind of flying saucers, little green men kind of
Yeah.
aliens. So I'm sure this had something to do with that.
Oh, yeah, for sure, and I mean, they make aliens look like once you get past the scary factor, they just make it seem like, "Oh, I have a new built-in best friend who,
Yeah,
like, hangs out
exactly.
with
It's like,
me."
could not be more harmless and has no real wants other than to get home, you know?
Right, which is
Pretty low
hey,
maintenance.
yeah, he just wants to go home, fair enough.
Yeah, which I don't know why his, like, friends didn't realize he wasn't on the fucking ship that whole time. They don't do a head count?
Right, oh my god, I didn't
Do
even
they have
think
a
about
buddy
that.
system or something?
Right, it's like that's such a good point where it's like, how do they not notice that one of their own was gone?
I know, even in Home Alone, they realize it at some point.
Right, they're like, "Oh, we left Kevin at home," and it's like, yeah, so
Yeah.
maybe the aliens, we think that I think there's, like, this notion that aliens, if they come to Earth or whatever, they're gonna be more intelligent than us, and
Mhm.
I'm like, I don't know, after ET, they seem pretty stupid, you know?
Yeah, I mean, they got home and they had to wait for the fucking phone to ring before they even knew he wasn't there.
Right. Oh god, that's so
Like,
true.
luckily he knew how to build that out of, like, an umbrella and a speak and spell or whatever.
Right, and that, like, hacksaw, like, saw, like,
Yes.
yeah, and I'm looking at this and I'm just like, who I guess, I mean, the ingenuity of, like, the of a like, a
Hey,
nine-year-old
yeah, it's
kid.
aliens.
Right,
You
they
know,
know.
they know more about umbrellas than we do.
Right, they know about umbrellas, and
Yeah,
boy,
I
he
mean, the
really let
signs aliens would have needed umbrellas.
they wanna
Yeah, that's I don't know what kinda tangent joke that is, but
Oh,
anyway.
no, it's good, and then the aliens also, well,
Hmm.
they just need someone to feed off of, so
Yeah,
that
they're always wet.
Yeah,
They're
they
cool as
are.
fuck.
I felt it's so interesting because I think that, like, because ET is, like, very dry. Like, he
Yeah,
looks like
he's
he needs
extremely dry.
yeah, he needs to
And he
exfoliate
just
or
gets
something.
drier. When he
Yeah,
gets sick, he gets dry even drier.
he gets all ashy and, like, all white and
Mhm.
stuff. He kinda reminded me of, like, do you remember that did you ever have that snack called puppy chow growing up where
Yeah.
it's like a
Yeah, he did
yeah,
look like that. Yeah, like
yeah,
powdered sugar. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, that's better than a piece of dog shit because that's what he looks like to me.
Like a giant
Like
turd.
old, old dog shit that's been sitting out there, it turns white.
There I thought I was also gonna say, like, a Vienna sausage too, like the
Uh,
ones that have the white on it too, but yeah, dog shit,
yeah.
all 3 pretty similar things.
Yeah. So, yeah, have a little meal.
Yeah, 2 go in and 1 comes out, and, that's a circle of life. So no, I agree with you on, like, I think that ET and anything that Steven Spielberg made around that time, I think or in general, like, it just feels like it really gives a lot of kids liberty to have imagination, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I'm thankful for, but also I noticed in ET that Elliot had a couple of Star Wars toys in there, and I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah,
"Of
he's
course."
showing him his I know. They and he sees a Yoda. He thinks he's a Yoda at one point. They're, like,
Yeah.
walking him they're trick or treating or whatever, and somebody's dressed as Yoda, and he thinks it's, like, one of his people or whatever.
Oh, yeah. And so I'm just like, in a world where I guess, like I mean, obviously, Steven Spielberg's trying to make money, so, he had a hand in
Right.
Star Wars, so he's like, "How do I put everything that I've ever made into
Yeah,
everything else I
sure.
ever make?"
Yeah.
You know? I just thought that was kind of a funny bit of a marketing like that, the Reese's Pieces,
Mhm.
Coors Banquet. I was
Yeah.
just like, "Damn, they did not spare any expense on making sure everyone knew how this movie was funded." You know what I mean?
Uh-huh, yeah. All the great products that helped get him home.
Right, exactly. Did you ever see what I think McDonald's made their own version of ET called Mac and Me, did you ever see that?
Mac and Me?
Yeah,
No, but I feel like I saw, like, the VHS in a movie store when those
yeah.
existed, I feel like I saw it as a kid, and it probably scared me too.
Yeah, I watched some of it, I think it's on I found some of it on YouTube and I watched some of it because 'cause I've heard, like, YouTubers and people talk about, like, this, like, "Oh, like, this is like the ET ripoff or whatever," and,
Mm.
I watched some of it. It's terrible. It's not
I
good.
imagine I didn't know McDonald's made it, like, what does
Yeah.
that even mean?
So
Like,
I
they
guess,
just
like
funded it?
yeah, the alien also just really liked Big Macs, and so that's why they named the kid named him Mac. So
Right.
and that's just what it is. It's like just to get it's they're like, "Oh, we saw Reese's Pieces are really going crazy after ET. How can we get
Right.
people to come and eat at McDonald's?"
Like, was a Grimace in it or any of those guys, or it's just a monster
No.
that likes McDonald's?
Yeah, it's just like an alien that likes McDonald's and nothing to do
Okay.
with, like, and nothing to do no Ronald's not in it, none of them are the
Right.
Hamburglar, none of them.
Is
It's
he
really
trying to get home, or he's just trying to get, like, more burgers?
I didn't get that far, but I'm assuming he's gonna try and go home, but I guess, like,
Right.
I guess the burgers are the
He's
only thing
gotta
that he
bring the
can eat.
burgers back to his home planet and start a franchise.
Right, exactly. So really, this is a story about a young entrepreneur who's just
Mhm.
emerging into new markets.
Yeah. That's a whole untouched planet.
Literally though. But yeah, that was I mean, there's been probably so many ET ripoffs over the years, of course, but that's the
Sure.
one that sticks out. And like, I remember reading a bit of trivia where Steven Spielberg approached Skittles. I think it was Skittle, and they were like, "No, we don't want our product in this movie. We don't know what this is." So they went to Reese's Pieces next, and now Skittles like, well, "Wait a second, wait, no, we don't."
Right. Well, you can use us for Schindler's List if you want.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, "Hey,
You
keep
can
us in
make them
mind."
black and white if you want.
Right.
Just
One
one red Skittle.
that Skittle. They keep us in mind for whatever you got coming up next,
Yes.
God, that's funny. And yeah, I think, there was something I just lost my train of thought, but anyway, yeah. They probably with, it was similar with I know Toy Story wanted to use the Barbie product,
Mhm.
and then Pixar asked, and they were just like, "We don't know what this movie is. We don't know what
Right.
computer animated movies are." And then it was a huge hit. So then I think Mattel like came crawling back. I was like, "Yeah, you can put Barbie in your movie if you want
Right.
now."
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
feel
like,
like there was a Barbie in one of those, but it was like they used
mhm.
Bo Peep instead, right?
Yeah, they
Like that
used
was supposed to
her.
be Barbie.
Mhm, yeah, so it's just like, yeah, I guess, yeah, I mean, people need to learn their lessons, you know what I mean? Don't sleep on a genius is all I'm saying, you know? But
Yeah, I mean,
anyway,
I think the Skittles company is probably doing fine.
I think they're
I'm not too
okay.
worried about them.
No, speaking it's Halloween time, I'm sure they're doing good, Taste the Rainbow, like,
Mhm.
Reese's Pieces wouldn't have come up with that, like,
No.
taste it would have been like, what, taste brown, yellow, and orange? Like, that's what
Yeah,
their
they
food would
just
have been.
aliens like us.
Yeah, yeah, right, yeah, non-humans really like our food.
Yeah.
Um,
I did like, this is just for whatever this
yeah.
detail stuck out to me when the government guys are like looking through the woods for ET.
Mhm.
He comes across the Skittles or the Reese's Pieces, and
Yeah.
he eats one of them.
Yes, I noticed that, I'm just like,
I
"Okay,
don't know
is
why
like"
that was charming to me.
it is charming, it's one of those things where it's like, there's no other way for you to tell what that is without putting it in your mouth.
Mhm.
It kinda reminds me of that classic, like the detectives who "Oh, nope, that's
Yeah, yeah,
blood," you know what I mean?
yeah. You taste a little bit of the cocaine.
Right, exactly. So how do you feel that so first off, do you still like this movie, and how do you feel that it affects you as an adult now, if it does?
Yeah, I like it. I like it more than I was expecting to. I think because
Mhm,
I have a little bit of a bias against like that tone of Steven Spielberg, like
mhm.
Steven Spielberg in kids mode.
Yeah,
But this was it was a lot like more just kind of grounded and natural than I was expecting. It wasn't really treacly like I was worried it would be.
mhm,
So yeah, I think it's a really good. It's iconic for a reason. Like it is good.
yeah,
I don't think it has any effect on me as an adult. Like
yeah,
I wouldn't have watched it if not for this probably, but
yeah,
it's
that's
good.
fair. No, the fact that, I haven't seen it in years either, and I watched it today for tonight, and I was like, "This still really holds up," like,
Mhm.
nostalgia aside, like, it's objectively a very good movie, you know?
Yeah, and I remember I feel like I was having memories kind of come back to me like all the plastic tube tunnels that all the scientists are moving through at the end and
Yeah,
just how like they just like bust into his house and they're all doing
yeah,
like Frankenstein pose like astronauts, like
yeah,
mummies, just kind of like, marauding into his house.
right.
It's all very strange.
It's super weird, like, as soon as they bust open the door and they're in the astronaut suit, it's just like, "Okay, what the fuck is this?" You
Yeah,
know what
like
I
why?
mean? And the poor mom, she's just like, "I have a fucking alien in my house, my kid is dying, and now there's
Mhm.
an astronaut at my door, like, what the
Yeah,
hell?"
yeah. That's not helpful.
No, and they just don't say it. She just stands there and they're just looking at her. It's like, "Well, fucking say something."
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
hey, is there an alien here?
Right, like, "Hello, I'm making a social call. Is there an alien home?"
Yeah. We're alien cops. We're the men in black and we're looking for we heard that ET was here. Famous
Right.
alien ET.
Yeah. I think it would be funny, and this would be a funny sketch that wouldn't probably go anywhere, but if it were just like they open the door and it's a couple of Jehovah's Witness, just really ill-timed.
Oh,
Just be
yeah, yeah.
just
That's
and you
like in Silence of the Lambs where they're all coming up on that house and you think it's the same one that Clarice
Yeah,
is at
yeah.
until he opens the door. Yeah, it's all the
And
astronaut mummies are like in the neighbor's house looking
yes, and
around.
then right, and then the Jehovah's Witness come up being like, "Oh, do you have a minute to hear about our Lord and Savior Jesus
Yeah.
Christ?" Oh, that'd be funny. Well, that's ET. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts on that. And also thank you for that being one of the movies that you mentioned. It's a fucking classic. It's so good.
Mhm.
Are you ready to move on to Melancholia?
Sure.
Okay, cool. So some stats for the audience. Melancholia came out in 2011, directed and written by Lars von Trier, starring a stacked again, every one of these movies I feel like a stacked cast. Kirsten Dunst, Charlotte Gunsborg, Kiefer Sutherland, and oh my god, Skarsgård. I'm
Yeah,
losing
you
his
got a
name.
couple Skarsgårds
There's
in
a
there.
couple. Yes, we'll just say and
Ellen
this
and Alexander, I think.
Alexander. So let's
Right?
just say the Skarsgårds. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think I just wrote down Skarsgård, and I'm like, that's not good enough.
Skarsgård plural.
Yeah, that's
That's
not
the
good note
plural for
taking.
Skarsgård.
Um, it's an absolutely fantastic movie. It was great to do a rewatch of this too.
Mhm.
So Travis, why is this your favorite or one of your favorites?
Um, I don't know. I think it's like obviously this isn't any kind of revelatory thing to say about it, but it's just a very poetic like depiction of clinical depression.
Mhm.
Um, that really works for me on that level, just that very basic level. Um, and just I had never seen any of his movies before. I got to see this in the theaters.
Oh, that's
Um,
cool.
without really knowing that much about it. So it's like I remember seeing the posters and maybe not noticing that there was like electricity or whatever, but it's just like Kristen Dunst just kind of standing there looking sad.
Yeah.
And it's called like Sad Movie, basically. So I didn't think I was gonna like it. I thought it would just be like, some kind of navel gaze kind of
Mhm.
just sappy, bullshit.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know that I just got really sucked into the whole structure of it. The first half is so dreamy and like just off from being real. It's like everybody's sort of reacting to her and each other as if they don't, for one thing, as if they've never heard of depression. Like nobody in this movie seems to have ever heard of
W
depression.
Yeah.
Um, but just the way he cuts too, like
Mm.
the camera is always like a handy cam or whatever, so it's always
Yeah.
moving and like just kind of jagged in a way, and then he'll just cut kind of whenever.
Mhm.
So it should be very jarring, I guess, or disorienting or whatever, but I find it so intimate
Mhm.
and loose. Like it just feels like sort of stuff's just kind of happening. It's not, some of it's important, some of it isn't. It just, I don't know, it really struck me as a really interesting mix of like naturalism and sort of surrealism, like light surrealism,
Yeah.
especially in that first half. I mean, the second half is more surreal, I guess, but or more
Mhm.
just like uh there's less going on in that. It's more streamlined.
Yeah.
Um but it's also just getting through that first half. Like I don't even know what, I thought this was a movie about like a planet hitting Earth and I'm watching this strange wedding falling apart. Um but yeah, just the idea, I think just the idea of like the idea of a planet, just something that is the same thing as our planet, it's just much bigger. There's nothing to
Mhm.
do about it. It is
Yeah.
just death. It's
Mm.
like, the basest kind of metaphor for death you could ask for. It's just like this thing's coming, nothing you can do about it. You're gonna die. Everybody
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. No,
And the fact that she is able to like she goes and lays nude under the planet's light
Mm.
and she's like reinvigorated by it and is
Yeah.
almost like a heroic figure at the end of it because she's able to help the kid
Mhm.
and help her sister to some extent. She's at least there for her.
Yeah.
um yeah, I just thought it was a, I mean, I've dealt with depression and stuff my whole life too, so I'm, that's nothing unusual, but just the idea that you can feel so kind of dark and like self-loathing or whatever, and you're just like sunk way down into the pit.
Mhm.
And then when something kind of macro happens like that, like an event or something larger than you, I guess, that's scary, it can be a little easier to deal with it because you're already dealing with a little bit of numbness
Mhm.
to begin with, and a like, a cynical attitude or a pessimistic attitude or whatever. Um, so that can kind of buffer you against like sudden bad things happening. I mean, not always, like obviously it can, you know, tip you over into some worse places too. But I just thought that was a very simple and kind of big and arch way of depicting that in a movie without having people having to say any of this stuff.
Right. No, I agree with you. Like at first, everything you said about it was absolutely fantastic and beautiful, and I 100% agree with you. And I think it is such a good depiction of clinical depression, in ways that like like I remember seeing this I know this came out a while ago. I remember seeing it maybe a little bit after it was out. It was not. I didn't see it in theaters. I saw it at home. And just thinking like, wow, this is so relatable, even though it's like so fantastical and not remotely realistic, at least in our timeline as of right now. But being able to relate mostly to Kirsten Dunst's character, but also to her
Yeah.
sister as well, you know what I mean? Being, like, just a lack of control over things, but at the same
Yeah,
time,
she's
like
like
yeah,
the anxiety half of it.
yeah. It's just
Kirsten
really
Dunst is depression and she's anxiety, and she just like can't handle it at
yeah,
the
it's
end.
just
She just can't, there's nothing to get control of for her.
right, and it's just so interesting that it was both split into 2 chapters, like,
Mhm.
having Justine and, I believe and Charlotte not Charlotte, that's the actress's name.
Claire?
Claire, yeah, Justine and Claire, and having it split like evenly pretty much. It is showing both sides of it and how both handle the situation without it like replaying the first part over again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's like the first half of it is almost like she's it's like the most sort of ceremonial happiness you're
Mhm.
supposed to show in our society or whatever,
Yeah.
but it's all very structured, like highly controlled and structured by Claire and her husband.
Mhm.
So Kirsten Dunst doesn't really want to be there, but even if she didn't get that far to admitting that, she still has to go through all this stuff that she doesn't wouldn't even want to do if she was happy to be marrying this guy. You
Right.
know, she's just trapped in this. And I think it's worth mentioning that I think it's an important part of it, whether it was intentional or not, um, that they are rich.
Yes.
Um, there are no circumstantial reasons for her depression. You know what I mean? It is just purely like just pure brain fuck up sadness.
Yeah. No,
And it
I know.
also that just means like they don't have to go anywhere. They don't really talk to anybody else after the wedding
Mhm.
section. It all takes place right there, and it's this very like pastoral storybook almost location. I think that all really plays into the kind of dreaminess of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Whereas if
I
they were like just kind of like normal people living in an apartment or whatever, it would be like a grittier movie probably, but it would just not have the same kind of like um, I don't know, operatic effect.
Yeah, I agree with you because I think yeah, I think it is important to note that they are incredibly wealthy because it's like it's not like she's depressed from working too much
Yeah.
or from not having money or any kind of any like circumstantial thing like that where it is just this is just this is a chemical imbalance in her.
Yeah.
And the fact that I think that also plays into with her family too being like, why are you sad? You have everything. Why are you
Yeah.
sad? You know what I mean?
Yeah. She's also marrying into like it's like a company marriage essentially.
Mhm.
Because like her husband is best friends with Stellan Skarsgård's character or whatever, and
Yeah.
he's also her boss. And
Yeah.
he's like showing her weird ads at her like she like has projections or whatever. He's got slides.
I know.
And then he's just like he has what's his name? Brady
Oh, oh,
Corbet
but
or
yeah,
whatever. He's
yeah,
got him
yeah.
like following her around looking for a tagline the whole night.
Mhm. I
And he's like,
know.
You seem to be short a husband and a boss. Maybe we could
Yeah,
work something out."
yeah. Dude, also, that's the fucking dude who directed The Brutalist. I'm just putting it
Yeah.
together. That's that motherfucker. God.
Mhm.
Well, I have to blame him for making Adrian Brody popular again. So, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thought
Uh,
The Village took care of that for us, but
right,
he's back.
right, right. Um, no, I didn't even put two and two together that was I was like, I know that name, but he looked so familiar because I'd seen some interviews for The Brutalist, but I was like,
Mhm.
oh, he's an actor. Oh, okay. And then
Yeah,
like when
he was in, like, Marcy May Marlene and,
um
Funny Games. Did you ever see that?
oh, I
The
did,
Michael
yeah,
Haneke movie? Yeah,
yeah.
he's in that.
Huh.
Um,
Well, now I know. I guess it's like I guess that's how he got to make an Oscar-winning movie, I guess. It's like you gotta act a little you gotta act a little bit and work under some Oscar winners yourself, but yeah, no, yeah, that whole wedding scene, I remember watching it last night and thinking like, "Yeah, no wonder she's fucking depressed. His wedding is boring as hell."
yeah, it
You know?
sucks, and her
Yeah.
husband is dumb.
He's
He's
dumb
just like a
dumb.
doofus.
Yeah.
Like, he seems nice or whatever, but he's just like the best he can do is like, "Hey, here's an apple tree, and you can maybe sit by it." Like, "Thanks, man."
I know, as, like, your wedding gift to your wife, which I don't know, like, you're supposed to get your spouse a wedding gift on your wedding day or whatever, but, like,
Right,
just
and it's a
here's a
nice gift, but
yeah,
it's not like, "Oh, you can sit by it if you're feeling sad still." It's like, do you have any idea, like, what's happening in my brain? I don't
literally.
need
It's like, "Oh," like, "oh," just it's like the classic when people are like, "Oh, you're depressed, well, go for a walk, go
Yeah,
exercise," you
go buy a
know?
new hat or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, treat yourself, but it's like, "I'm depressed, I didn't come into money, like, what do you want me to do?"
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, because he literally just has no clue, like, what's going on with her other than he's like, "Why are you sad? Why are you
Uh,
sad?" It's just the impression that I kept getting from him is, like, this, like, dumb dog basically being like,
yeah, yeah.
"Why are you sad? No, be happy." And it's like, "Oh my god." I don't know,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Girlfriend, you're marrying this guy?" Like, "Okay."
I also noticed just this time that during the whole wedding thing, nobody has anything to say to her except for how she looks.
Yes.
They're all like, "You look so happy," or "You look
Yeah.
gorgeous," or "I have such a beautiful wife," or whatever. And she's just kind of like looking at him, smiling, just like, okay.
Yeah. Dude, that's such a good observation, and, like, even, like I know in the wedding part too, like, that her boss is, like, trying to get her to, like yeah, trying to get her to, like, work on something at her own
Yeah.
wedding, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, "What?" Like, I
That's part of
mean
what's so dreamy about it. Like, sorry to interrupt you,
yeah.
but
Oh,
just
no, no,
like,
yeah.
because that's so like cartoonish in a way.
Mhm. It
He's
is.
pretty funny in it still in Skarsgård.
Oh, yeah, he's super funny, and then them counting, like, the beans at the end of the night, and it's like,
Oh
"Did you
yeah,
really?"
I love that part where
I
she's
did
just
too.
like, all of a sudden she's just like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I'm psychic and there's no other life in the universe and this is gonna end too."
Yeah,
It's
it's like
actually I know everything and everything sucks and we're gonna die. So see it.
yeah. Yeah, so that's why I'm so upset. Anyway.
Yeah.
But just the fact that at their wedding, they paid somebody, butlers, to count each bean, and it's just
Mhm.
like, how rich are you guys that you have, like,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
professional bean counter, a literal bean counter at your wedding?
Right.
Um, but I like how you mentioned a little bit how it was shot too, and I really enjoyed that because I don't know if you've seen the show Succession or not, or, but
Oh
it
yeah,
felt
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Succession. Sorry, I thought you said Severance for a second, but
Oh,
yeah, I've seen Succession.
also, all Severance is great too, but Succession, I feel like, obviously Succession came much later, but also has, a Skarsgård in that show as well. Comes
Oh
much
yeah, the
later.
same one, I
Yeah,
think.
oh yeah, it is the same one. It's always like there's like the big burly
Yeah.
dad, then there's a burly brother, then there's like a skinny blonde brother, and then there's, the one who played
Yeah.
Pennywise, and that's how I know all of
Oh,
them.
I only know about two of the sons. I know
I think
the kind of goggly-eyed one who was in
yeah,
it, Bill, I
yeah,
think,
yeah,
and then
Bill.
Alexander.
Yeah, I think there's another brother too, who's also kinda more burly, like, very
Hmm.
Nordic looking, and then their dad.
Yeah, they're
That
all
but
good actors. I like them all quite a bit.
oh, same here, like, I was a little skeptical seeing Bill in it, and then seeing him as Nosferatu in Nosferatu, but I'm like, "This guy's just
I loved him in that.
I did too! He was so
You
good.
will obey me. It was a mustache.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it's so good. I love that movie. That was, like it came out right at the end of last year and became easily one of my favorites that came out last
Mhm.
year. But yeah, he's yeah, he kinda reminds me of young Steve Buscemi a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I see. I think it's just the gaunt
It's the
eyes.
eyes mostly. That's I was just kind of going along with it. I wasn't going to say that, but yeah,
Yeah, and
essentially
100%
the eyes.
it's the eyes, the eyes have it, and, but, oh, yeah, so Succession, so I feel like it was shot like, this movie felt like it was shot like a single cam sitcom or a
Mhm.
TV show, you know what I mean? Because it was, like, a lot
Yeah.
of the zooming in and the zooming out and the hand being handheld, I was like or it kept me in the movie, it all felt very, like you're just like you said, just observing this whole
Mhm.
situation, but at the same time, I'm like, this almost feels like if it were this almost feels like this could have been a really funny movie if they would have done
Yeah.
just the you know what I mean?
Yeah, if it just like tilted its tone just slightly, because like
Mhm.
the first half of it is pretty funny, like especially watching it as after the first time where you sort of like the first time I watched, I'm just kind of like trying to figure out like what the fuck is this movie about.
Right.
But then the second time, it's like you sort of know the structure of it, so you can just pick up on more like Stellan Skarsgård's funny, Kiefer Sutherland's pretty funny, just
Mhm.
how annoyed he's getting.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, it's all like kind of it's like kind of easygoing humor, I guess, in a way. But uh, I don't know. I kind of lost my train of thought too.
Oh, no, you're good, dude. So, you kinda touched on this already too with, your first time seeing it, so but, like, you said you saw it in the theater. Do you remember, like, why you went and saw that and, like, what you kinda took out of it after that first viewing?
Yeah, I don't remember why we went and saw it. Maybe I knew what it was about at that point or something, but it was me and like several friends, and they all hated it. I was the only one that liked it, so I was also like leaving it like sort of even just to myself, being like, did it? Was I wrong? Like they
Yeah.
all hated it. Like why did I like it and they didn't like it or whatever? But no, I very quickly came around to just like it really like was fascinating to me, very like invigorating.
Mhm.
I just had never quite seen something like it. Um,
Yeah.
and since seen a bunch of his other movies, and
Mhm.
a fan of him in general. Like I might even like Antichrist a little more,
Mm,
honestly, just because of
yeah.
how like fucking in your face and hardcore that movie is, just how metal it is.
Yeah.
But that seemed like this just seemed like an easier one to talk about than that. Uh,
I mean, I'm down. I remember they did a reshowing of Antichrist at the Belcourt. Oh God, like, or they did a couple of his movies at the Belcourt. Maybe like 6, 7 years ago or something like that. And I went and saw Antichrist, and I was just like, yeah, in theaters, this is fucking
oh
wild.
yeah, that must have been awesome.
It was great. I mean, I definitely saw people leave the theater during the
Oh,
showing
I
of it,
bet.
though. Where I was
Yeah,
like, Did y'all not know this movie's been out for like a really long time? Did you not know what
right.
you were getting into?" You know.
Yeah, and that's
But
like that movie knocked me out just because it's like it starts at the worst thing
I know.
happening, and
Yeah.
you know it's only gonna get worse, like, even
Yeah.
without really knowing what the movie's about, which I didn't. It's like,
Right.
it's only gonna get worse from here, so, like, what the fuck is gonna be in this movie?
Literally,
And
though,
it
I
it
mean,
does not disappoint.
no,
It's as
it def
crazy as it seems like it will be.
yeah, it definitely doesn't take its foot off the gas at all with that
Yeah.
movie. That was part of that was my other question, but you already kinda answered it. So, like, out of his other movies, especially with the Depression trilogy, so would you say
Mhm.
Antichrist is your favorite out of the 3 that he's done in that
I go
series?
back and forth on Melancholy and Antichrist, but
Mhm.
if somebody put a gun to my head, I'd probably say Antichrist.
Yeah,
Just yeah, if that's what they wanted me to say.
right.
If they wanted me to say Melancholia, I'd say that. But
Right, yes.
uh,
Whatever keeps you alive, you know?
yeah, I like Nymphomaniac too, but not as much as those two.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I've seen all 3 and I saw Nymphomaniac Volume 2, and I just never really cared for either of those movies. I don't know, it just was
Yeah,
like yeah,
I
it
liked
didn't
them okay. I should probably go back and watch them. But anyway, you were talking. I
oh, yeah.
interrupted you.
Oh, no, no, oh, no, you're good. I think that because I feel like with his movies, he always can straddle a good line of, like, this is absolutely ridiculous, but also very
Mm,
poetic and nice, and I feel like Nymphomaniac went too far into, like, this is just crazy for the sake of being crazy.
sure.
And I just, like I think I was just, like, after coming off of Antichrist and Melancholia, I was like, "Oh, I'm so stoked for this storyline, this is gonna be great," you know? And then I just was a little bit disappointed, and then the second one I liked even less, unfortunately, and I was like,
Yeah.
why did this one get a sequel out of all the other ones that he's
Right.
made?" You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely hear you on that. Uh, I've loved Charlotte Gainsbourg in all three of those movies though. She's like
Same.
so fucking good in all of them.
Yeah. I'm so glad that she's kind of the through line in these movies too, which I think is
Mhm.
really cool. Because it seems like he also works with I mean, he seems to work with her quite a bit, but it seems like he'll switch up his rotation of actors,
Yeah.
pretty often. Like, I think Nymphomaniac had, like, what, Mia Goth and Shia LaBeouf and tons
Yeah,
of
he's
other
got Willem
people.
Dafoe in there.
Yeah, well oh, yeah, I guess he worked with Willem Dafoe quite a bit because he was in Antichrist too,
Yeah.
which is cool. But yeah, I'm really glad I got to rewatch this. It just, I don't know, it really, like it's kinda timely for me and, and I don't normally get we don't normally get too personal on these podcasts, but, like, it's just, like, I've been kind of in a depression slump. Just I mean, it's
Mhm.
not anything. Nothing that's, like, really been going on. It's just, like, I just get like that, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, I do too. Yeah.
And so,
And
like,
it's
what
like it's a depressing time right
it got
now. I
dude
think a lot of people are depressed,
dude,
you know?
yeah. It's like, I feel like it's just, like, it's getting darker out, everything's shitty, and
Right.
it's like and watching this movie, like 'cause I feel like the few times I've watched it, I kind of will waffle back and forth between who I relate to more, Justine or
Mhm.
Claire, with the anxiety or the depression aspect of it. And at
Yeah.
this time, I definitely was like with Justine, where I was just like, yeah, let's just end it at this point.
Mhm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I think I've always been more on the Justine side. Like I deal more with like social anxiety, I guess, than like
Yeah,
I mean I deal with it, I have anxiety too, like everybody does, but
yeah.
I'm definitely more on the kind of like morbid depression than anxiety depression wavelength.
Right. No, I definitely get more like, yeah, I think definitely more like actual clinical depression where my anxiety, I think it just for me, it goes back and forth where it's like if it's not one, it's the other. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Mhm.
they're both kind of both sides of the same coin for some
Yeah,
people.
they're like part of the same thing.
Yeah, where it's like, oh, I'm depressed. I don't want to do anything. And I'm depressed about that. Now I'm anxious because I'm anxious because now I have things to do and I have to exist
Mhm.
or whatever. And so
Yeah, yeah.
I just I never really had seen a movie or piece of media that really explored depression and anxiety quite like this, That
Yeah,
wasn't like
where
an
it's
after school PSA or something like that, you know?
right, it's like because it doesn't have to like talk about any of this. It's all
Yeah.
in the kind of tone and the premise and just the reality of the wedding, it's all like just sort of falling apart.
Yeah.
It doesn't have it can all just be unsaid. I mean, that's part of what I like about Antichrist too, is that I think under all the like whatever other readings you can get out of it, I think it's like the equivalent to Melancholia, but more about self-loathing,
Mhm.
which I also relate to. I've dealt with that. Not so much anymore. I got past that stuff, but
Yeah.
uh, I've never seen a depiction of that like that either. I think they're very much. I know it's a trilogy, but I see those two as very much like sister films.
I agree. Yeah, because I think that's why Antichrist also really struck me because I also, struggle with self. I've got married about the self-loathing, but like when I saw it at
Right.
the time, I'm like, yeah, I hate myself. I'm a piece of shit. And then I watched this and I'm like, well, they're all pieces of shit too. And
Right.
so, and they know it and I know it. And I think that was
Mhm.
it's kind of weird because these movies, what you wouldn't probably categorize them as comfort films. Definitely not either of those really, but
No.
like, but there's a comfort to them of just being like, okay, like there is like I don't want to say sweetness, but like, yeah, I guess comfort is probably the best word for both of these movies, where it's like you're comfortable in like the uncomfortable of
Yeah.
humanity, you know?
Yeah. I feel like the kind of authorial voice of them is like present in a way that's not, it's somewhere between earnest and ironic.
Yeah.
Like it's not totally earnest, but there's a little bit of a wink, like a sly wink to it or whatever, but it's like feels very earned, or like it feels like obviously like he went through all that same kind of shit.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a very short channel from him to the art. You know what I mean? It's a
Mhm.
very like it's just very revealing and but very simple. It's like it's both complicated and very simple. Not simplistic, but just very I don't know, just very I can't even think of the word. I
Yeah. No, but
can't articulate myself, but
I totally get what you're saying too, because yeah, it does feel like it's just like he experiences these things and he puts them out, and the way he expresses himself is through this kind of abstract kind
yeah.
of way. But it doesn't feel like he's like trying to be weird or trying to
Right,
do,
right.
you know what I mean? It's like, oh, this is who he is, and this is how he feels, and this is how he can get these emotions out of him, which I think is really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's the kind of thing I would hope to I find it inspirational for myself
Mhm.
too. Like that's the kind of art I like to do, is like where it abstracts the thing into a different shape, but it has an origin in real pretty simple emotions and thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel you on that too, and, like, I think like him, I think David Lynch,
Mhm.
are like the auteurs like that who can really just, like who naturally see the world that way, but, like, also
Mhm.
but still feel very human emotions and still feel like
Yeah, yeah.
want connection and all that stuff. I think it's really cool, and it's a hard thing. I think it's hard to try and, like, fabricate that, and people definitely have tried, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, that's like I guess that's maybe that was a really like dull thing to say. Maybe that's what every artist is trying to
No. Oh, no,
uh
no, no. I agree with you though, because I think everyone's like, "Oh, I wanna make a movie like that," but it's like, but do you have like I guess like do you genuinely see the world that way? You know what I mean?
yeah, that's the thing. I don't want to do stuff like that. I want like there's no real new ideas anywhere,
Yeah.
so the all you can do is just kind of channel stuff through yourself and have that be your perspective,
Mhm.
be the thing that you put into it
Yeah.
that then makes it different.
And I genuinely, and I mean this without, 'cause I've had the pleasure of getting to witness your art and see you play and everything. I think you do a really good job of that. I think
Thanks.
yeah,
Thanks. I appreciate that.
you're truly you're I mean, everyone is an artist and can be an artist, but truly, you're a really fantastic artist and just have a beautiful way of looking at the world, and I believe that I see the influence, but also I see your own path of that too, and, it's just really cool. It's cool to know someone who does stuff like that, you know?
Thanks. That's really nice.
It's
That's
true.
very nice.
It's I mean, I see all your stuff, that your sketchbook you're working on, I hear your music and all that stuff, and it's just like, you're so talented and you just see the world. You had these, yeah, you have your emotions that you express through your art or the things that you see or whatever, but it's so refreshingly different because that's just
Mhm.
who you are, and it's really awesome.
Yeah, I think that's like kind of the thing I've most learned is to like just take whatever I want from my influences and just trust that I will synchronize them into something that will come out of me and be me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I agree. I'm with you on that too, and I feel like, for me with comedy, it's very similar, where it's like I
Mhm.
have my influences, I have people that I love that I think, I would like to hope that maybe if people saw me and knew who my influences were, they'd be like, "Oh, I can see why I can see that," but also I hope that it funnels through in its own in its
Yeah.
own way, you know what I mean? Because it's
Yeah, for sure.
like Rory Scovel's my favorite comedian, and I would love
No, I
to,
didn't know that. That's cool.
oh, yeah, he's my favorite, I mean,
Yeah,
I've
he's
seen him
great.
so funny. I've seen him live a bunch of times. I had a pleasure of meeting him a few times. He doesn't remember me, and that's totally okay. It's totally fine. But I'm totally not bothered by it. But but he's yeah, I think he's the comedian I've seen the most live, and just constantly inspired by him and everything that he does. But at the same
Yeah.
time, it's like I'd like to think that I'm like, oh, I'm doing kind of what he does. I did improv for a long time, and I can kind of, he kind of plays a bit of a very very macho character on stage, like kind of kind
Mhm.
of a dirtbag a little bit. And I'd like, you know, and I'd like to think that when I do my stand up, it is a little more of an elevated version, or like not how I am in real life. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
do more of a character, but being able to play around in that kind of on stage character. Um,
Yeah, I think you do because and it's like not that far away from you off stage
yeah,
either. It's like it's definitely a heightened thing, but it's basically like I've been talking to you and then you go up on stage and do your set and it's like that's still the same person. Like it's not
yeah.
like it doesn't feel like a manufactured character or anything like that.
Oh, thank you. No, I appreciate that because that's also like a fear. It's just like I don't want to go up there and just with my little bow tie, my little like rubber
Right.
chicken
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah. You got the arrow through your head like Steve
Yeah.
Martin or whatever.
Right, exactly, just like you pull this like a clown is pulling like napkins out of
Yeah,
my
right.
sleeve. No, thank you. Yeah, I feel like with the comedy for me, I think my persona or whatever I do is always Courtney from a few years ago. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Because
okay. That's
maybe
interesting.
that's kind of how I think of it. I think I got into that mindset where it's like things that also stuff that by the time I have it ready to record or put out there, it is a little bit older. It's not
Yeah.
necessarily everything in the moment. Some things are, but I feel like, I think some of the more neuroticness or just some of the topics that I talk about maybe wouldn't be something that come up all the time for me in this day and age. But I
Mhm.
like to think about it helps me kind of get in the mindset of like, oh, how would like Courtney in her late 20s, mid to late 20s react or be in a moment or be on stage or something like that. Whereas
Right.
I may not have been like that in my late 20s or whatever, but I still think of like just more of the energetic and more like having something to prove more, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and
So,
you've gotten a little away from that so you can observe it like
yeah.
more maybe not objectively, but at least like closer to objective
Oh,
than you could
oh,
in the moment. Like I think that's cool that you're thinking that proactively about that.
oh, thank you. Yeah, no,
I think that's a
I
good mindset.
thank you. I try to I think, and I'm sorry, I've now made this about Courtney and her comedy and
I
not,
know I made it about me too. I'm just sitting here thinking
no.
like, why am I talking about my art? We're talking about
No,
movies.
but this is all part of it though, because like this is like we're talking. This is what inspires us to do what we do now,
Right.
you know.
Sure.
But yeah, I think like I try to I have Courtney Warner TM, like Courtney Warner, the comedian, the business person, the
Mhm.
the one who puts out comedy albums, and I have like Courtney myself, you know. So I think as
Sure.
long as I keep the veil is thin. It's like a tissue. It's like a piece of one ply tissue. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
there is that separation that helps me not go crazy. I think if someone doesn't like something I say or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but and I know all artists I think probably have a little bit of that too, where you have to have
Yeah. But
fixed
that's like,
yeah.
it's you're dealing with more of your own like physical presence and persona more than I am. Like I'm
Yeah.
doing drawings or music or whatever. Even if I'm like doing improv or whatever, it's still like a character.
Yeah. You mean you're not in a straitjacket all the time?
Oh, well, I mean, I use my own life in the character, so I bring my
Yeah.
straitjacket. Yeah, it's based on me.
Yeah. I feel you on that. Audience just for some perspective, Travis and his roommates have a wonderful show called The Psycho's Quiz Show. They do the first no, the second
Second
Friday of every
second Friday.
of every month at Springwater, and they also perform on other people's shows. By the time this comes out, it won't even fucking matter because the show you're doing tomorrow, it'll be
Oh, yeah.
well, it'll be months down the line. But
Yeah, that won't matter, but just any Friday, any second Friday of the month at the Springwater in Nashville.
yeah, definitely
I'm
come
gonna see
out.
a weird, like, comedy game show type of thing hosted
It's
by mental patients.
yeah. I love it. I've won 2 out of 3 times, so, like, I'm a repeat customer.
Right, yeah, yeah.
I, but, anyway, so this is probably a good time to start wrapping it up too since
Right.
I mean, Travis, I could talk to you all day, like, it's very obvious we hang out quite a bit, and I've loved hearing your perspective on art and things. So I just have a couple more questions here. So, what correlations we talked a little bit about this up top too, but I guess more in depth, what correlations do you see between ET and Melancholia, if any?
Um, I think the only one other than this that they're both from space, is that I feel like there is some amount of, like, familial tension in both.
Mm.
You know, like, the whole the like, Paul that's over everything in ET at the beginning because of the divorce or whatever, he's all like, the kid is very upset about that.
Mhm.
That's not exactly the same thing in Melancholia, but you're seeing this, like, wedding fall apart. You're seeing her relationship with her parents and how strange and weird or strained and weird that is. Um, that's like the main connection, I think.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that, the familial stuff. Also, like, excuse me, I'd say loneliness, I think, is definitely,
Yeah,
pretty common
that's true.
for the main characters because, like, Kirsten Dunst, she's Justine, she's, like, so isolated because no one
Mhm.
because of her depression, and, like, no one really gets it, and she hates her life and whatever, and Elliot at the beginning, no one wants to hang out with him, like, he's just
Yeah.
a yeah, he's, like, trying to play card games or whatever with his older brother and their friends, and then, and that's the whole catalyst, he has to go get the pizza and all that, and I think just extreme loneliness for both characters and isolation, I think, are
Yeah, I
definitely, like
agree. I think that yeah, that's true. Because yeah, it's very, obvious in the beginning of ET that he's, like, so much younger than all those other guys that he's hanging out with. They're all his brother's friends. So, yeah, and he
yeah.
he doesn't seem to have any friends his own age.
Yeah. And Justine seemed to have 0 friends at all in her
Yeah, she
life.
and, like, I'm sure any that she had, she's alienated.
Right, exactly. She has her sister who doesn't even really wanna help her either, and so,
Mhm.
yeah, I also see, like, the familial tension of, like, the older siblings kinda stepping in and being like, "God, you're annoying, but I'm gonna help you." I feel that
Yeah,
with Elliot, and, his older brother's name is Mike. Mike, I feel kinda that same way with him and Elliot, and then Justine and Claire kind of like the reluctantly, like, and then they're in it together, and that's, like,
yeah.
kinda it starts to I guess they're both of their adventures, which I think is really cool. Um, and then, so here's my last 2. These are rapid fire, but take as long as you need because, varying degrees of how long to answer both these questions. But if you had to recast both movies, with all Muppet characters, but keep 1 human in each, who would the 1 human be? And then who are some of the Muppets that would play some of the other characters?
Okay, so it's all Muppets except one person in each of them?
Mhm, yes.
Okay. Well, Oscar the Grouch would be Justine, I think. Uh, they can be Sesame Street too, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah, any
I
Jim
feel like I know
Henson.
more Sesame Street characters.
Yeah.
So yeah, Oscar the Grouch is Justine. Um, I think maybe Big Bird is Alexander Skarsgård,
Mm.
or her groom. Um, I think let's just put Willem Dafoe in there. He'll play Claire.
Yeah.
Uh, we'll movie swap him.
Yeah.
And then who else is in it? Kiefer Sutherland. Kiefer Sutherland will be that bear, Fozzie Bear.
Yes. Oh, world's best stand-up comedian, Fozzie
Yeah,
Bear.
right. And then in ET, I think Kermit's got to be ET because he's the star.
Mhm.
Uh, Miss Piggy could be the mom.
Yeah.
Uh, Gonzo, that's a Muppet, right?
Mhm. Yeah. Big nose.
Gonzo can be his older brother.
Cool.
And then the Drew Barrymore part will be played by adult Drew Barrymore.
Oh, I love that. I could just see her being like, "Oh my gosh, ET!" Like, I swear she does.
Yeah,
I loved her Barrymore. I mean, she's been in some
right,
of
right.
my favorite things, ever made. So, well, awesome. And then, what is your go-to movie, snack, and drink?
Um, just a soda with caffeine in it. And I mean, that's usually it, honestly. But if I was going to get probably like some kind of gummy,
Yeah,
a gummy style thing,
yeah, I feel
maybe a
that.
sour gummy.
Ooh, yeah, with some soda, like, 'cause of the nice
Yeah.
crisp like a crisp Coke or something like that.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah. I say, just give me the crispest soda you got and
Yeah.
the sourest gummies.
Right, like, "Oh, well, just for me, like, my regular," You go and walk into
Yeah.
the Regal.
The usual. Give me the usual.
Well, I remember when we went and saw, what was it, Mickey 17 together, and they gave you the Snow
Mhm.
White cup they gave you guys the Snow White cups?
Oh, yeah. We still have those somewhere.
Really? It was too good. I guess 'cause no one saw Snow White, they had to do something
Yeah.
with
They were just
those.
giving those away. That was
Yeah.
like months after that came out.
I love it. Well, yeah, and I feel lucky because a lot of my guests either don't live in Nashville or I haven't seen them in a long time, so I don't get a chance to go to the movies with them, but this is
Mhm.
a rare occasion where we've gone to several movies together, and,
Yeah.
I felt very lucky about that. I guess I never noticed what you eat at the movies, I never really put to or what you eat and drink, I guess I just it's dark and I don't and I'm usually too busy drinking my beer, and so
Right.
I'm like, "Why would I care as long as someone touches my drink?" You
Yeah, I
know?
mean, I don't know why you would care anyway.
Yeah, true.
What kind of chocolates I'm eating or whatever.
Right, I guess I just never paid attention. Travis, thank you so much for doing this podcast. This has been
Yeah, thanks for asking
awesome.
me to.
One more thing before I let you go. You touched on this already a little bit with Psychos, but can you tell people where they can find you and what you got going on?
Yeah, so the Psychos quiz show is like a comedy game show trivia thing that we do every second Friday at the Springwater Bar in Nashville. Other tn that, and you can at Psychos Quiz Show on Instagram. Other than that, you can find me at Travis Caffrey Art on either Instagram or TikTok, where I post art. I'm working on a graphic novel right now, so I just like post stuff for my sketchbook, designs and stuff. Other than that, my band, The Chewers, has stuff on any Spotify, wherever you listen to music. It's weird, freaky, freak, outsider, rock noise kind of
It
shit.
They're the best.
I don't
They're
really
the
know how to
best.
describe it, but any of that stuff, it's out there. I don't.
Hell yeah. No, that's awesome. And yeah, definitely check out everything Travis is doing. He's doing a lot of cool stuff here in Nashville and beyond because you can listen to Chewers anywhere that you
Yeah,
listen to
you could listen
anything.
to that in the beyond.
Yeah, you can listen to this podcast and then go right and listen to the Chewers, like a nice little
Exactly. Yeah.
companion piece. Well, Travis, thank you so much for doing the podcast. This was so much fun just getting to hang out and talk movies with
Yeah.
you. And yeah, audience, thanks again for listening and tune in next week. This has been Core Memory, a podcast about movies, and I'm your host, Cortney Warner. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Please feel free to like and subscribe on anywhere that you get your podcasts. Would absolutely love the support on there. If you enjoyed today's episode and any of our other episodes, also we are on Instagram at Core Memory Pod. Please feel free to give us a follow on there as well if you want any behind the scenes tidbits or any kind of fun visuals on there. And again, thank you for listening, and we hope that you'll listen again soon.